I guess I have a personal story for just about everybody that's been up here today, but when Ed and I moved back here from Michigan in 2004 or 2005, we had been in Michigan for 5 years, and our builder had a party for all of the people that were building houses in our community for us to get to know each other. We're a homeowners association of 14 houses. And so we went to this Christmas party, and Michelle was there. Well, I knew Michelle Singletary because I read her column every day, and I said, "Ooh, I need to talk to you immediately, because whatever you do, I want to do. I want to know what you do," because I love reading her every Sunday, and she's such an inspiration to all of us. And if you've never looked at her column, shame on you. I want you to look at it tomorrow and start reading it regularly, because she offers such wonderful advice. She's a nationally syndicated columnist for the Washington Post. Her column, The Color of Money, is an award-winning column which is now carried in more than 100 newspapers. She is a graduate of the University of Maryland at College Park and the Johns Hopkins University, where she earned a master's degree in business and management. Singletary and her husband reside next door to me in Maryland with their 3 children. My good friend, Michelle Singletary. Thank you, girl.
Well, good morning, or I guess it is good afternoon. I'm not a morning person, so isn't it nice to see the sunshine? Oh my goodness. And even nicer that you're not out there trying to enjoy the sunshine rather than trying to listen to something that really can help you. So congratulate yourselves for being here this afternoon. So, you know, before I speak to groups, I often ask their permission for something. Now, when a junior officer wants to speak candidly to his senior officer, they ask for permission to be candid, right? So, do I have your permission to be candid? You sure about that? Okay, because it's going to hurt. And I don't want you to hurt me after I'm candid with you, all right? But that's okay, because my husband is a really big guy, and I will have him come get you. So the title of my presentation is Living in the Black, and obviously the double meaning of that is that, especially in Prince George's County, we're, really trying to improve black economic empowerment, but also living in the black means that you're not in the red. And so that's hopefully at the end of this presentation. Now listen, I understand that many of you are probably good stewards of your money, but I also want to appeal to and talk to people who may not be. So, I want to start off on a positive note. That, in many respects, the American dream has been realized for a lot of African Americans. Today, African Americans have a buying power of $892 billion. That's with a B. It's an amazing amount of economic power, and it's expected to exceed more than $1 trillion by 2012. Except here's the problem, particularly in this county, the recession has hit us hard. And the subprime mortgage crisis in particular has devastated the home equity that many people had. So we've had one of the largest loss of wealth in our community for Latinos and African Americans. We were almost at 50% home ownership, and the recession has pushed us back to the mid-40s. You know this, and I don't know, does anybody in here know someone who's not been affected by unemployment? I mean, I have not talked to anybody who doesn't know somebody who has lost a job or their hours have been reduced. And it's particularly devastating to the African American community. Our unemployment rate, everybody was cheering that it got to be 10%, or now it's 9.9%. It's at 17%, and that's just overall. If you look at the subcategories, African American men and teenagers, it's much higher. So there's a lot going on. But here's a statistic that troubles me the most. A lot of that is sort of outside influences, but nearly half of African Americans born to middle-income parents in the 1960s have fallen below that. So something went wrong. Either we didn't teach our children, or what I call the 3 C's happened: consumerism, the lack of contentment, and credit. Those are the 3 things that has contributed to this loss. So, isn't she so cute? That's me. And that's my grandmother, Big Mama. Everything that I know in my core about my finances, I learned from that woman who never made more than $13,000 a year. And I'm not talking about the 1920s. My grandmother passed away in '97. And that's me on my wedding day with my grandmother. And you see that wedding dress? Isn't that a lovely wedding dress? It was used. Cost me about $100. And I was mad about that. And people were outraged, you know, family members, because they, you know, people want to take you shopping for a wedding dress. I was like, this is one day. I'm not paying a whole bunch of money for no one day. That's crazy. So they were fussing at me, and I said, you know, I don't care, because the person who wore that dress, she's not going to be at my wedding. So I'm very frugal, and I learned that from my grandmother. I put my money where there's value, where there's going to be some asset growing. I don't care what kind of car I drive. I mean, my husband and I bought cars a couple of years ago, but we drive our cars until I'm on a first name basis with the local tow truck drivers. One Valentine's, my husband surprised me with a weekend at the Ritz-Carlton, and of course we got it on discount. We showed up in our hoopty, and in the driveway were Mercedes-Benz and Rolls-Royces, and you know, we come up with our hoopty, and people were like looking at us like, who are these hobos with this car pulling up to the Ritz-Carlton? But asked me if I was embarrassed. No, I wasn't embarrassed, because my car was paid for. Most of those cars in that driveway were probably leased. So, you know, I don't embarrass easily, because my economic power is about sending my kids to college, about securing my retirement, paying my mortgage off before I have to use a walker. That's my goal. That's my grandmother. I love those big glasses. My grandmother said it's not what you make that matters. How many believe that? You all believe that? Do you truly? No, you don't. 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 Because you know why I know you don't. Because people always say, if I earn just a little bit more, you on your job, I need that extra raise. If I just had a little bit more money. People say that, but you don't really believe that. But my grandmother said, it's not how much money make you mad, it's how you make do with what you had. That's right. My grandmother retired with more money than people I know making six-figure salaries. She had a small pension, Social Security, and $20,000 when she retired. When she passed away, how much money do you think she had in the bank? $20,000. Because she had paid her mortgage off. She didn't have any credit card debt. She lived a good life. She wasn't a miser, but she didn't want all that stuff that we want. I just wonder if this is your state of mind. And if it's not, it's probably somebody in your family. And if it is you, just keep looking ahead. Nobody will know it's you. That's the state of mind of most people in America. They're just crazy because of this recession. But here's what I want to do. There are 5 steps to building lasting wealth. 5 steps. You all have your pencil and paper and notes? Because you come to something like this, I expect you to take notes. Right? If somebody next to you not taking notes, slap them and say, take notes. Right? I'll wait for you to get pen and paper. Because I didn't leave my boo in the sunshine for y'all not to take no notes. You ready? Amen? Everybody got pencil and paper? If somebody next to you don't have them, raise your hand so I can call them out. Right? Where your pencil and paper? What you think I was playing? Where your pencil and paper? Somebody give him a pencil and a piece of paper. What you think? I'm not going to see you over in that bright yellow orange sweater. It's nice. That's what All right, everybody ready? Turn to your neighbor. Ask, you got a pencil and paper? Right? Anybody don't have a pencil and paper? Call them out. All right.